Well, Agam, today I have for us, the stock that I have for us is Meta, which is not just the like buttons that we used to hit when it was Facebook back then, but now it is forayed into things like metaverse and AR and VR headsets. So I'm going to talk about how the journey of Meta has been like. Moving on to how they've literally dominated the social media space. They founded Facebook in 2004, acquired Instagram in 2012, and WhatsApp was acquired in 2014. These are literally the topmost three social media platforms that Meta owns. Then we have the market capitalization. Well, collectively, if we see Magnificent Seven's market capitalization is approximately 13 trillion, which is literally half of US's GDP. And if we talk about Meta's market capital, well, its market capitalization stands at 1.24 trillion, which is 1/3 of India's GDP. And the interesting fact is that it is much more than GDP of countries like Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, UAE, Egypt, and New Zealand. Then moving on, if we talk about the metrics, the key metrics of Meta stock, well, its P at present stands at around 28.2 times. Forward P of FY24, however, is less, which is 20.7, and EV to EBITDA is approximately 20.2, and its current operating margin is at 29%. This is their major revenues, of course, their ad spends, their advertisement revenues. Now, talking about how geographically Meta's revenue come from, it's a very interesting analysis that the majority of their revenue comes from US and Canada, which is approximately 18,000 and 9,000. However, if we see the daily active users, it is interesting that US, Canada, and Europe have the least active users as compared to Asia Pacific and rest of the world. So majority of their revenue comes from their least daily active users. Then moving on, certain facts about Meta, which a lot of us don't know. Well, as of Q3 FY24, the daily active user people were approximately 3.19 billion, and monthly were approximately 3.98 billion. Now, if you see the ratio of how these daily versus monthly active users was, it was approximately 80%, and the average revenue from each of this active user is approximately $10.1. Also, if we talk about what Meta is looking for now, what is the future of Meta look like? Well, first, they're planning to launch Orion, which is an AR smart glass. They'll be launching it soon. They've also formed a team to detect AI-generated fake, which try to influence the general election for the coming up elections. They're also of course, they're building metaverse, but they're also advancing their VR and AR headsets. And they've also come up with Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, which include cameras, features like cameras in the smart glasses itself. Also, Meta is also heavily focusing on AI, where they're heavily investing in AI R&D. They're building the world-class AI assistant to help things done. Now, how they're using this? Well, their aim is that every creator that is there on Meta's platform will have one AI assistant that will assist the creator for its audience, and every business will have an interactive AI, which will interact with their customers. And moving on, if we talk about the stock performance, well, 1 month the stock has grown over 21%, 6 months it's grown over 68%, and 1 year the stock has been a multi-bagger stock, which is given around 178.4%. And lastly, peer comparison, if we talk about the P ratio, well, Meta is in line with Microsoft and Apple. However, its valuation is much lower than stocks like Nvidia and Amazon. So literally, Meta is looking out for the future of AI as well as metaverse.